Okay. All right. 30 years. 30 years is a long, long time. A long, long time. Three decades. That's a long time. Let's talk about it. Hello everybody, MG here. Like I mentioned, 30 years, and as you can see from the title of the video here, I just finished my very first 30-year save in Football Manager 22 Mobile. Now, the team I had chosen for this was Norwich City, and they are basically now, for those that are uninitiated, they are on the way out of the Premier League in England down to the Championship. So, with this being my first ever save that I've ever completed, the 30 years, because that's how long, the longest you can go in Football Manager. Figure let's take a look, and see what we can find about what I was able to do with Norwich City. I turned this team, Norwich City, into basically the Real Madrid or Bayern Munich of East Anglia. And for all of you Norwich City fans out there, yeah, we beat Bayern Munich quite a few times. That was fun in the Champions League. But yeah, as you can see, for the first time in a generation, Norwich City fans will see their team play without MG Radiant in their home dugout. The board and supporters honored the long-serving Radiant, and with everyone hoping that the transition to the new regime goes smoothly. Okay, and then, as you can see here, I'm going to go to the profile. We won a lot of football games. So this is how we started with when I first took over Norwich City. We had Tim Kroll in goal, Grant Hanley doing great for us. Sorensen did really good for us in that first year. I was able to keep them from getting relegated. We finished at 14th, and not bad. And then next year, I was able to bring in the players like Ilan Meslier, also Luca Netz. Morato was a really great center back, Brazilian center back for us. And Razvan Marin, he was actually Romanian. Again, I was bringing him in as a backup, but I had some players get injured, and he wound up playing a lot for us. Michael Salidek, I think he was another one of those where played a lot better than you thought. Brought in Musa Diaby and also Augustine Alvarez. Those players, we really started climbing up the ranks. I believe we finished 11th that year. And then the next year, I started just putting out feelers for more players that could join us. And I wound up getting Joshko Gavardio. Joshua Kimmich joined us in the midfield, as well as Yuri Tielemans, the Belgian midfielder. Also brought in Gio Reyna, and then I also brought in Karim Adeyemi, who recently just went to Borussia Dortmund. He wound up playing for us. He was, I believe he was still at Salzburg, Red Bull Salzburg at the time. And continuing on, as you can see here, taking a look, we've got Franck Kessie. He came into the mix, did fabulous for us. Also brought in Dusan Vlahovic. He was playing at Juventus and wound up coming in. He made him an offer, couldn't refuse. So, what have I learned with finishing up 30 years of Football Manager? Well, I learned quite a bit. I learned quite a bit about Football Manager. I learned quite a bit about myself, because I don't know about the rest of you, but I tried to approach Football Manager the way I would approach being in charge of a team. Okay, where the only thing I really use the in-game editor for, which I know there's going to be people that are offended by it, okay, I paid my own money for my version of the game, and I'm going to play it how I want, okay? But here's the two things I did. Number one, I pulled the Newcastle United and gave ourselves a lot of money, because as sexy as it may sound, you can't win championships on a beer budget. You can't want champagne results on a beer budget. You got it, the old saying, you got to spend money to make money. Yeah, you got to spend money to win championships. That's just the way it is. I don't necessarily like it any more than you do, but that's just the way it is. And then the only other time I would use it is to boost the morale of the team. So what I would do is talk to the players like you normally would. And then if he was still grumpy about it, I would go and use the in-game editor to boost his morale, because I would be like, all right, you're closing the door, locking it behind you, and we aren't coming out of here until we get this solved. I'm not in a threatening way. It'd be like, come on, there's nothing to be upset about. You're just not getting game time. I understand that you may be pissy about that, but there's no real reason to be pissy, okay? Not just from a football perspective, but also from a life perspective, okay? That's how I am as a human being, at least I try to be. Because one of the house rules for the Radiant family, for my family, my wife and my daughter and my mom, is that we always find a way to work together. We don't budge on that. So I'm giving you kind of a glimpse into how I do things as a human being. And then if the whole team was grumpy, well, then I probably would I got inspiration from Jurgen Klopp. Yes, I automatically boosted the morale. But I would treat that like, okay, guys, guess what? We're going to go on a team retreat. And we're going to do some relationship building exercises, especially once I started bringing in some of those younger players, where I'm like, all right, well, we need to start forming some bonds here in order for us to get, because if we're getting along for the most part, that's going to translate into us winning some football games out there. So that's how I used it. There was one time I had to play, as far as I know that I can hear all of you, elitists or whatever saying, but what about injuries? Nope, left them. I once had a player that was out for 11 months. I could have healed him automatically using the in-game editor, but no, I wanted to do it like how would the rest of my squad react? And I wound up having to lean on some of the younger players. Gave them chances. So learned a lot about who I am as a person. A lot more than I think I realized. I learned that that there's a lot more to me than just somebody that enjoys video games. That was fun. So, what next? I think I know what I'm going to do next, as far as the team I want to manage. I think I do. And I feel like for the first time ever, playing Football Manager mobile, I feel like I really understand what this game is about. And I think I know what I'm going to do next. And I needed to give myself time to decompress and think after. So it was like, I think it was Wednesday and it's, Thursday, it was Tuesday night. I'm going to give myself a day just to kind of unwind and think about all this. But man, when you finish a save, it's like you think about all the frustrations along the way, and there were definitely frustrations. But you know, overall, we won a lot more than we lost, and won some championships, and did pretty good. If you've made it this far, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. You know the drill. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, and stay tuned for more Football Manager type stuff. Got some things in the works. I know what I'm gonna do next. I'm gonna share it with y'all, so that way keep it entertaining, have fun. See y'all later.